The Pleasant Valley Country Club is definitely the place to be this week, especially if you love the game of golf. Some of the world's greatest legends are teeing it up for the Simmons Bank Championship. And whether you're a veteran of the game, an amateur, or just a fan, you need to know how to talk a big game, especially if you want to impress your friends. If you can't hit like the pros, try talking like the pros. When's the last time you hit a Stony?
Stony. I've hit rocks. Is that what a Stony is?
A Stony is a great shot, which is better than a muff or a skull, and it's a lot better than a shank. Is there a lot of cabbage and spinach on this course?
There's enough. There's enough.
There are certain golf terms you must know if you want to impress your friends. The fairway is called Center City or the pipeline, and if you take a big divot, you're called a digger. And this is not a golf ball. This is called the pillar of the rock when it lands in the pipeline, but once it lands on the dance floor or the carpet, that's when it becomes an egg. That's when you pull out your short stick and try your best to roll the egg into the can. So Wes, has your egg been afraid of the dark today?
It's been very afraid of the dark. The best thing has been afraid of the water, so I've avoided the water so far.
This rock ended up in the spinach or the cabbage, depending on which vegetable you like more. And if it ends up buried in the cat box, it's a fried egg. Have you seen a lot of fried eggs out here?
No, I have not. I've just seen some water balls.
If you hit your tee shot long and hard, you flame broiled it. But if you hit it low when on the ground, it's a worm burner. For a lot of these amateurs, there's a lot of knee knockers out there. So what advice do you have for them, especially when they leave too much meat on the bone?
Well, you know, all the pros out there, all of us, we've seen worse. So no matter how bad they think they are, we've seen worse.
And if your rock ends up short near the green, you're in the frog hair. So, Joe, what do you think about the frog hair, the cabbage, or the spinach on this course?
I don't like any of that on my hamburger.
And finally, if your game falls apart, you're leaking oil. And if that happens, there's really only one thing left to do.
I try and encourage them to stop as often as they can at the drink stations, to stock up and have a nice day out.
It's a high-stakes gamble between a state trooper and a fleeing suspect, and there's no room for error, which is why troopers undergo rigorous training every year. Tonight, I'm putting you in the front seat and showing you what factors must be considered and the risks involved when and if a trooper decides to end a pursuit. When a suspect decides to flee, state troopers are trained to stop it as quickly and safely as possible.
Put your hands down!
But before any trooper can engage and execute one of these, they must first pass a number of high-stress tests that are conducted here on the base of Camp Robinson in North Little Rock.
We have a cone course, and most of the work, most of the driving skill is learned on that cone course, and there is a passing grade that they have to achieve a time.
Colonel Mike Hager says once troopers pass this maze test, the stakes get higher, and so does the speed. New recruits and seasoned veterans are then timed on how fast and safely they navigate this 2.8-mile track packed with twists, turns, and straightaways.
It scares me to see them doing the things that they're doing, but it's a testament to them because of the oath that they've taken.
Those who pass must then focus their attention on this long stretch of road known as the TVI pad.
Track is hot, track is hot.
All right.
This is where palms get sweaty, hearts beat faster, and the adrenaline kicks into overdrive. I take it you've done a few of these in your time?
Not so much out here.
Jackie Spear is a retired state trooper and has performed countless TVIs.
See, I can cut corners. I'm the bad guy. I don't have to follow the law. I'm breaking it already.
In this scenario, we're the bad guys and on the run. Before any TVI is executed, troopers must first consider a number of critical factors. They include the reason for the pursuit. Is it a simple traffic violation? Or is the suspect armed? The surrounding environment. Is it safe to perform a TVI? Are there kids or hostages inside the suspect's car? And how fast the suspect is going. Once they determine everything is safe, only then can they engage.
They have full authority. They don't need the permission, so to speak, of a supervisor.
As for us, our attempt to get away is about to come to a grinding halt.
All right, so we got a trooper behind us, as you can see right there. We're going to go about 60 miles per hour, and then he's going to come up on the side right about now. Here we go. Wow. Unbelievable. And now the entire inside of the car smells like rubber. What an experience.
To pass this test, a trooper must successfully perform more than a dozen TVIs every year. But performing them in real-life scenarios comes with risks. Most end with no one being hurt. But there are others that don't. In this case, the suspect, who was traveling more than 100 miles per hour, was killed. The trooper injured and lucky to survive.
We don't want to hurt anyone, but we're more concerned with the general public than we are someone that's knowingly, violating the law.
It's a risky game, and the stakes are enormous. And for those who refuse to pull over,
Do not move. You understand me?
Colonel Hager has one simple message.
It is absolutely not worth it. It's just not worth it.
When it comes to undercover operations, you might think of wanted criminals being hauled off to jail, but Operation Hope is not one of those operations. Instead of making arrests, state police offer those trapped in a world full of fraud, fear, and coercion something far more valuable. They arrive one by one,
Drivers wearing tie-dye dress.
unaware of what awaits them inside.
We're the approaching criminal.
Some will leave willingly, others will be rescued.
All right, the very front of the parking lot facing the hotel.
From a horrific life they were forced into.
That's our goal, is for them to know that they don't have to stay where they are. They don't have to stay there.
Over the past 6 weeks, undercover agents with the State Police Human Trafficking Council pour through thousands of escort ads on the internet, looking for potential victims of sex trafficking in Hot Springs.
How do you know what to look for?
Some of these women, you'll see identifiers unique to human trafficking, such as certain tattoos, and then we see these other women that are kind of beaten down, and we kind of focus in on them.
Agents identified nearly 25 possible victims and reached out via text and over the phone.
No, I don't always do regulars. It's first come, first serve.
Their interactions closely monitored at this command center miles away. It's a cat and mouse game where prices are negotiated, questions are asked, and a time and location to meet face to face are confirmed.
Send me your location, and I'm going to come up there. You're not a cop, right?
Undercover agents who are parked outside relay messages to a team of agents and medics inside.
They're walking into the front now, losing sight of them.
As each potential victim enters the hotel.
The so-called paying customer, who's actually an undercover agent, meets the woman in the lobby, and together they agree to go straight to the room. Once inside, the undercover agent will immediately identify himself as a law enforcement officer and tell the woman she's not under arrest, but they do have some questions for her. That's when the victim's advocate takes over.
That's Kathy Bryan's job. She's the woman you see wearing the red shirt. Over the years, she's helped rescue more than 150 women.
They just need to know that somebody cares and that they're valuable and that they're worthy of love.
She's also a survivor of human trafficking.
What questions do you ask them?
It's not the questions as much as what you're trying to do is meet them where they are. You know, humanity. Taking into consideration why they came there. It's not to come have sex with somebody. It's to put food on the table, right? It's to fulfill what they've been told to do by the person who's controlling them.
But on this night, she offered them something much more valuable than money, something a trafficker would never give them.
What was that?
Choice.
And that is what Operation Hope is all about.
We're not here to take you to jail. For everyone to know that there's another option out there.
We're that rainbow in the cloud. You know, we're reaching our hand down and saying, if you need to be picked up, we are here to pick you up.